This is Matt Russell, and welcome to the Daily FX Forum.
So here are the four pairs that I will be discussing this evening: the Euro Pound, the Aussie Kiwi, the Pound Swiss, and the Euro Swiss, as well as the Euro Aussie. Make it 5 pairs. So let's go ahead and pull up the charts. The first chart is the Euro Pound. If you recall, during the past several reports, I mentioned this previous support line, which might have acted as resistance, but we were stopped out on that trade with a 30 pip loss. So right now, I really don't see anything too favorable. For more aggressive traders, they might look for this line to now act as support again. But when this happens, when you have penetration like this, this line very well might hold, but I just don't have that much confidence in terms of issuing any trade setups based on that line. But again, for more aggressive traders, they might look for this area to act as support. The next chart is the Aussie Kiwi, and if you recall, during the past several reports, hopefully you all got an entry at 24.60 with a stop now at 24.10, so you should still be in that trade. Nothing has changed, and again, place the limit near that 26.40 area. So moving forward now, again, I'm looking for a head and shoulder pattern, the market to at least attempt to draft a head and shoulder pattern here, which would mean a rally up to that 26.70 area, and again, take profits near 26.40. The next chart is the Pound Swiss, and this might be the one imminent trade setup tonight. Looking prices right now about 65.70. This is a little cleaner than the Euro Pound. I like this previous support line, which might now act as resistance. So this price point here is about 166.60. I like a short entry at 166.50 with a stop tentatively at 67.25. So again, that's an entry short 66.50 with a stop at 67.25, and again, that's something we can monitor over the next 24 to 48 hours. Prices right now about 65.70, so about 80 pips away, which is certainly within the realm of possibility with the Pound Swiss, considering its volatility. The next chart is the Euro Swiss, and not much has changed here. Again, taking that profits on that short trade at 149.10, so we should all be flat right now. And again, I'm looking for prices to come back up and maybe test that 150 area one more time, and I'd put on the same trade that we did the last time, which would be short at 149.90 with a stop at 150.40. But with the Euro Swiss being very tight in terms of its ranges lately, I don't expect this trade to set up within the next 24 to 48 hours, but certainly something we can keep our eye on. The next chart is the Euro Aussie, and if you recall, during the last report, which was this candle here, I mentioned a short trade to enter at 163 with a stop at 163.50. Actually, excuse me, 163.30, because I didn't want prices to take out this high here. And if we go to the 5-minute chart, I can show you exactly what happened. This is when I was actually giving the report right here, and we can see the prices actually came up to 163.10 after my report. So you should have entered if you're using entry orders or you were watching the market. So you should be short right now from that 163 figure, and prices right now at about the 162 figure, so about 100 pips in the money right now. And I'd keep that the same stop again at 163.30, and I'm looking for at least a decline near that 161 area, but certainly I can update you with tomorrow's report. Again, my name is Matt Russell. Thanks for listening, and please stay tuned for a preview of the Daily FX Forums. I want to take this opportunity to formally welcome you all to the Daily FX Forums. I want to go through the process of how I personally access the forums and how maybe you at home, if you want to access the forums in the future, might do so. The first thing you would do is go to www.dailyfx.com, and that will bring up, obviously, dailyfx.com, and usually there on the upper right hand corner, I'll go ahead and click on where it says forum, and that will bring up the first page of the forums. And this view, I personally don't use this view, but this view actually shows you the most recent posts on all the threads within the different sections, and a little detail about those posts, so you can read through and see if there's something catches your interest. But personally, I go ahead and just click on forums and view them in the more traditional sense. Now, these are different threads within the forum. There's a section on education, such as Daily FX course instructor tips, which would be good for newer traders, and then for more advanced traders. And I just want to go ahead, personally, the way I use the forums is I would go through the individual threads, just looking for trade ideas, maybe looking at charts, looking at certain lines that maybe I didn't put up on my chart, but another trader might have put up on their chart. I tend to, shy away from using direct trade recommendations from other forum members, but it helps me to sort of even out my analysis, make sure that I'm seeing things with the right mind in terms of I might be missing stuff that other traders can see, and that's my personal way of using the forum. Every trader is going to be a little bit different in how they use it. So if you want to ask questions, if you want to become an active participant of the members, you would have to go ahead and register. So that's what I'm going to go through now, is the registration process. So assuming you're brand new to the forums, or maybe you've been here a few times and you're not really sure how it works, so I just want to walk through again the registration process. This would be the front page where you would access, or the previous page. You'd have the same little box here on the left hand side. Obviously, my username and password are already filled out here, but assuming you're a new member, you would click on where it says register, and that will bring up the registration page. If you give me one moment here while my browser loads. And actually first we're going to have some terms of service and DailyFX forum rules. I do suggest reading through the forum rules. Obviously, profanity and spam and things like that are not allowed, but it also gives you insight on how to use the forum and how different traders can use it, in terms of their individual needs. So you would go down to the bottom there. You'd click on where it says I have read all the rules, and then you would go ahead to the register, the formal registration page, and that will bring up here. And you can go ahead and select the username, and how about we'll use 4x, and that name is already in use, so maybe add a few more x's there. Again, it really, your individual username is up to you, and you go ahead and fill in your password, your email address. Now, the most difficult aspect of registration for the DailyFX forums will be figuring out these letters in the box here. Now, I'm a semi-intelligent person, but I have a very difficult time figuring out which letters and numbers to use. Now there is a reason for this madness. It helps with security, but I would suggest just going ahead and keep on clicking that refresh image until something comes through that you can actually identify and see. Then you can go ahead and enter your birthday, but you can decide whether or not to display that to other forum members. And then also, if you were referred by somebody, you can enter that information there. The time zone, that should default to your computer, but you should double check and make sure. And then you can opt in, and I would suggest opting in for these emails in terms if the administrators want to go ahead and send you some notices about the forum, and then you would complete registration. Now what happens is they would send you an email to the email address that you put up here, and that email will include a link, and all you would have to do is go ahead and click on that link, and that link will bring you inside the forum, and you would now be a member of the DailyFX forums. Again, this is Matt Russell. Thanks for listening.